Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to my channel. I am a life coach that specializes in mindset and purpose. Today's video, I want to speak about how being an independent person can be quite lonely. So, I don't know about you, but if you are a independent person, then you may be living alone, you may be doing things alone, and the loneliness sets upon you. Does that sound like you? Is that what you're feeling? So, a little bit of a backstory about me. I've always been very independent. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 16 years old, and I went and moved in with my boyfriend. And yeah, that was pretty young to just jump the gun and move in with someone at a very fast pace as well at the age of 16. 2 weeks after actually my 16th birthday, I moved in with my boyfriend who I hadn't been seeing that long. And I always have been independent because I grew up with my brothers and my sisters were back in Australia. So I was always very independent because I relied on a lot on myself. Even though I had my parents and I had my brothers, but I was always like that growing up, even as a child. I was always very independent, doing my own things, playing with my brothers, and I felt as though it was time to leave the nest. Even though I was moving in with someone, again, I still was very independent. A few years later, when I was 18, I did move into my own apartment. I kind of fled the nest from my partner and wanted my own space and my own place. So I managed to live independent and get a job, go to college, go to uni, and just build my life up being that independent woman because I wanted to rely more on myself. I wanted to just grow and expand myself by myself because I was so used to my own company. And from that time onwards, I never moved back to my parents. I just kept growing. I just kept moving. I just kept being independent, getting new apartments, getting new homes, traveling by myself. I have traveled to 22 countries so far, and majority of the time I did it by myself. I went traveling by myself, backpacking the country all by myself. I stayed in hostels, hotels, everything. I did everything by myself. And to kind of be like that, you have to get to know who you are. And it's a great experience traveling by yourself because you get to know what you like, what you dislike. You feel the loneliness, but at the same time, when you stay in hostels or you stay in areas that are full of people, like very popular places in the cities, anywhere, I would book online and go with groups. So then I was actually with someone and groups of people that I could just make friends with as well. So as being independent as I am, I did like to branch out and make friends. I am very introverted as well, so that plays a big part in my life, a big part in me being independent on my own. But I do have extrovert in me, but on a scale, my introvert is more higher than my extrovert. So, yes, when you start to go through life being that independent woman or that man, it gets lonely, yes. And when you branch out to do things you want to do, such as businesses or anything like that, you don't necessarily have that support that you think you want. Sometimes you don't have anyone to rely on if you're single and you're not in a relationship or you're not even seeing anybody. Again, you rely on yourself for everything. You have to rely on yourself to give yourself the love and the attention that you really need, because you don't want to go out there and just desperately search for it and get the attention of someone else. But it's very vague and it's not the attention that's going to last. It may be one night stands or just seeing someone for a couple of weeks. It's not that sort of attention that you can just rely on. You have to rely on your self love. You have to rely on your own self, your own independence. You have to rely on you. So, with being independent, being lonely, if you start to feel really lonely and something is missing, then it means something is missing inside of you. So if you're feeling really lonely, if you live alone, like I live alone, times can get a little bit lonely where I'm doing a lot for myself. I'm cooking for myself. I'm cleaning for myself. Um, I talk to myself, but it can get lonely. But it's okay because I have friends there. I have family. I have people I can talk to. But if something inside of us is really nagging at us that we're so lonely and it's interfering and triggering your emotions, then it's something that we have to work on within ourselves. If we feel really lonely, how can we actually fix that with our own self? Like I've mentioned in my other video, talking to yourself is very crucial. Getting to know yourself is very crucial. If you're very independent and you are an introvert, then you need to talk to yourself. The more that you talk to yourself, the more you get to know yourself, the better it's going to be independent, the better it's going to be to love yourself, to be on your own. But again, it's not so good to isolate yourself away from the world. You do need to have that interaction with somebody. If you feel as though you don't have any friends and you don't have anyone to talk to, and it's making you feel a little bit down, you are very independent and you're an introvert, or you may be an extrovert, and you're not connecting to anyone. And I highly suggest for you to get out there, make friends, speak to your family, see if there is anyone that you can talk to try bump up the socializing. There are websites out there where you can make friends online, or you can go do gaming, where everyone makes friends as they seem to be. But yeah, if not, then please reach out to me. I would be happy to speak to you. As a life coach, it is something that I do to speak to everybody, to not necessarily socialize, but to kind of help you and guide you to the pathway that you need to go down, to the person you desire to be, and to find that purpose inside of you for a greater future. So, as a few things to go away with, I want you to kind of reflect on yourself and reflect on the independence that you have and the person that you are. If you aren't content with yourself, I want you to go in. I want you to do the inner work on yourself. Find that area that you are craving outside of yourself. So if you're feeling really lonely and it's really triggering your emotions, then it's something that you have to work on deep inside of you. I want you to backtrack to your past, to your childhood. Is there anything that happened, any childhood neglect, any trauma, any wounds that you can feel that are triggered? Or maybe it's just that you miss socializing. Then I want you to take that step and go out there and socialize, make new friends. But if you are very happy and content with your own independence, then good for you. If you are really content with who you are and you talk to yourself, good for you. I am so happy. And I just want you to continue on with your personal development. And if you aren't at that stage yet and you require some help, please reach out to me and I would be happy to work with you. Thank you.